MovieWeb.com.
Well, I want to begin by asking you, because I talked to the writers, Adam and Eddie, a few times, and they mentioned that initially they had gone to your home and sort of pitched you the initial idea for this film. You haven't done a lot of sequels in your career, so I was just curious, what did you think of the initial idea and sort of reprising this role and returning to this world?
I was very excited about the notion, and I'm really glad that Disney held off as long as they did until they got the right director and the right story in place. And I was thrilled with Joe Kosinski, our director, coming from architecture. He's an architect, and so the design of the film is really terrific. This world of the grid is really fully realized. And also, it was an opportunity to, tell a modern-day myth about technology and how we might navigate these challenging waters we find ourselves in now, where, if we want something, we can get it quick. We better, be careful, what you wish for, what you want.
Was Tron something from your career, the films of your past, was that something that you had sort of held close to your heart? Were you, did this mean a lot to you, this project?
Yeah, of the movies, that corny thing actors say, it's really true for me anyway. That the movies are like your children, so I have a fond place for each film. But the sequel, I think that's interesting. I've done that before with Texasville, was the sequel to The Last Picture Show. That was 20 years after the fact. But Tron, 28 years. That might be the record for a sequel. I don't know if it is, with the same actor.
Yeah. Well, and then I wanted to ask you, it seems like the real theme of the film is fathers and sons and families, not only the relationship between Sam and Kevin, but the relationship between Kevin and Clu. I mean, Clu is the unwanted son in a way.
That's
was that
right.
a theme that you really
Absolutely.
passionate about?
Yes, absolutely. And as the title implies, legacy, what kind of legacy are we leaving our kids, and what kind of path do we want to set them off on?
And then in the film, you really get to play the hero and the villain, and you're, in some scenes, acting opposite a 30-year younger version of yourself. Tell me about what that was like, and technically, and that must be exciting to do.
And you don't really see the results until the whole thing is put together, because the effect is really a post-production deal. So you're working on the scene, and I'm working on just do a little dot, or sometimes I work to another actor, but I'm thinking, okay, you guys, let's see, you got to show me the money here, how it's going to turn out at the, when it's all polished up, let's see what it's like. So I had to be patient, for that.
And now that you've seen it, are you pleased with the final?
It's really an interesting feeling. It's a bit like, do you remember the first time you heard your voice on a tape recorder, and you said, that's what I sound like? That's interesting. Because the final product is really a interpretation of other artists saying, this is what Jeff looks like. So it makes it just off enough to work.
Yeah.